Okay, a warm welcome to our health and well-being programme today here on Uxbridge FM. Our guest today is local therapist Tamara Flumignan. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, Steve.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. And thank you for having me.
We are chatting today about how to keep cool at Christmas. But first of all, perhaps tell us a bit about yourself, how long you've been a therapist and what you specialise in particularly.
Yes, well, I've been a proper therapist for 4 years. Before I was in corporate and I was still using therapy. The things I specialize in are mainly anxiety, trauma, depression, because they're very close to my heart. I suffered a lot with those over the years, and the things the therapies I practice now are actually those that helped me.
Okay.
So I know they work.
So we're chatting about Christmas.
Yes.
It can be a stressful time, can't it?
Yes.
There's always seasonal ailments going round, and we're up late going to Christmas parties, and we're trying to think of gift ideas for family and friends, and then you're catering maybe over Christmas. Oh, there's pressure to put on a good spread there. So perhaps just all go round to yours maybe for a chill out week.
Why not? Wouldn't that be great? Yes, I love to spread a bit of calmness and self-control over the Christmas holidays, but I also like the excitement. So, you might come to my house and eat too much.
You're Italian, aren't you? By
Absolutely,
birth, which is
yes.
So. We've put a few questions out on your Facebook page, haven't we?
Yes.
People have replied. And question number 1, we're going to have some answers to, was how to remain calm and not bite anyone's head off during Christmas. Let's have some suggestions there.
Well, first of all, we need to accept that other people are different than us. It's difficult, isn't it? We just want everyone to be like us, to share our experiences and everything. But one good place to start is to find something in common, something that we have in common. At Christmas, we're all probably thinking about, after Christmas dinner, about the holidays, about trying to book somewhere nice and hot because it's cold outside. And so share. Where are you planning to go? Where have you been? You might have been to Spain. You might even been to the same hotel. You never know. Or what about cheese? Do you like the same cheeses? Talk about it.
Cheese.
Yeah, I like a bit of brie myself. So find something to share that you can talk about together. Obviously, if you really can't stomach your sister-in-law, your uncle, your mother-in-law that is actually cooking dinner, plan it before. You really have to, you can only change yourself. You can only change your perception and the way you behave. So go in prepared. You go in prepared. So relax yourself. So before Christmas, before you have to go to this event, go for a walk. Go for a 30 minutes walk in a park, in trees. Trees are amazing. They relax. They allow the human bodies to produce serotonin and oxytocin, which will relax you for the rest of the day. So you arrive at the party. You're nice and relaxed. You're calm. You're in control of yourself. Just enjoy yourself. Try and be friendly with the people around you, even if you don't like them, even if they are not friendly to you. Because you'll be very surprised. Once you do that, you change the status quo and they will respond to you in a much more positive way. Look at the spread. I mean, your mother-in-law, for example, that's where we're going to go for Christmas. She spends Christmas Eve and Christmas morning cooking, preparing everything. And she spent months before buying Christmas presents and wrapping and getting the lights sorted. Give them some credit, And you turn up and everything is ready. You might not like it, but hey, just be grateful for a moment. And you'll be surprised because your mother-in-law will probably turn around and say, "Oh, that's nice. You've noticed, the new tablecloth and things like that." The little things make such a difference. And if you do have Uncle John, who is not a very nice man, drinks a little bit too much, swears a little bit too much, and you really can't see eye to eye. A word for 2019 was empathy. We need to, because we are in control of ourselves, so just the night before, close your eyes for a moment and just put yourself in Uncle John's shoes. Ask yourself why they drink a little bit too much, why they swear all the time, why they smoke. Try and imagine, how their childhood was. Because I don't believe that anyone in this planet comes and lives to make it bad for everyone else. We always try to improve our own lives. And therefore, if someone does something and is not quite up your street, then you can put yourself in their shoes and see why. That will give you a good start.
So a few tips there. So we're saying be positive and go for a walk. The trees help you there. And when you get there, perhaps credit the mother-in-law and, nice tablecloth, compliment her, maybe ask her, can I help with anything? And as you say, the word of 2019, empathy, and also putting yourself in their shoes. Interesting, good tips there, I think. Now, another question we had was how to deal with different parenting styles. Obviously, somebody on Facebook's had this. They've gone to a house and the parenting styles of the host don't quite fit in with their parenting styles. Any examples you can give us of what they might be?
Well, I've experienced them firsthand. I have a 2.5-year-old boy, and I've tried to use the Montessori method. Maria Montessori was a child educator in the early 1900s.
Okay.
And we also used elimination communication, which, for those who don't know what that is parents learning the cues of the baby, the newborn, the baby, the toddler, when they need to go to the toilet. And instead of using the nappy, we actually allowed them to eliminate in a potty, in a bowl, in a bath, in the toilet, whatever, with a specific hold. And obviously, when they grow older, they can sit on their own potty. It's not mainstream, but that's what everyone used to do until the 70s. You just need to ask your grandma, and it's just a natural thing. And I've seen people, me with a potty around, going crazy about it.
So what age child are we talking about here? How many months?
From birth.
Okay.
From birth.
And you'd be chasing around with a potty at someone's house while they're hosting their party?
Yeah, why not? Well, obviously, yes. I wouldn't be going around with a potty. I would sit myself in the corner. But, yes. When they're newborns, you start at nappy changes. You allow them to get used to it because at the end of the day, it's a learning process. But yes, I've had a few abuses thrown at me. Your child is not ready. You're gonna cause a lot of physiological problems. And I have a very healthy 2.5-year-old who's been out on nappy since 20 months old.
Yeah, and that kind of links in, doesn't it, with the other sort of points we've had, how to manage other people's expectations. I don't know, examples of that, perhaps.
You can't manage other people's expectations. You can only manage your own. You can only manage your perception of things. So take that into your stride. Accept that, first of all. And Dr. John DeMartini, one of my favorite gurus, is a behavioral specialist. He says, if you have a choice between upsetting yourself or upsetting someone else, always choose someone else. Because you have to live with yourself, where you're not responsible for another person's feelings.
Okay.
They are responsible for their own, it's the same thing. You have to accept, you have to learn to manage your own emotions. They have to do exactly the same. So you're not responsible for theirs.
Yeah. So just effectively walk away, you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially from the wind-up merchant you usually get at parties, isn't it? And yourself. Breathe. Trust in yourself as a human being, as a believe you can do it. You don't have to stay there and receive it.
And I think this next one also links in, and I've experienced this, I think, when you go to somewhere and it's completely their traditions don't fit in with yours, or there's too many toys, too many cakes. I suppose you're going to say it's all down to planning, isn't it, in advance?
Absolutely. It's first of all, you have to make sure you have space for Christmas to come to you, because no matter what happens, you're going to end up with a lot of new toys if you have children, or a lot of new jumpers and shirts if you're an adult, or socks. So make sure you get rid of your old socks and or prepare to get rid of them. And in terms of toys, give them to charity. A lady from Facebook, I have to mention her, Jessie, she's managed to change her Christmas from a very stressful one over a few years to a very relaxed one, because now they plan. The preparation is key. They plan in advance a few months early. She takes her kids, they go through the toys, the good ones, they pack them and they give them as extras to family members, cousins and nephews. And so they have the space for the new stuff to come in. At the end of the day, a tree loses their leaves every year, isn't it? So the new stuff comes in the spring, and we have to do the same thing. Marie Kondo is a very famous clutter expert. She says, one out, one in.
That's all about planning in advance, isn't it? And are there any tips you can give? I mean, it's hard to hint, isn't it, what you like for Christmas? Is it a bit impolite just to send somebody a wish list and say,
absolutely not,
these are my Christmas gifts?
No, and I'll tell you why. The environment is a very important factor, and consumerism nowadays is taking over what the real meaning of Christmas was. We all like to give gifts. We all like to show off, and by any means do it, but do it with your head screwed on, because there's no point in buying a lot of plastic that is not going to last the day. The person that you're giving a gift to will be probably in need of something, or they like something. Ask them. You're not taking away from the magic of Christmas because you're giving a gift anyway. It's just you're making a more informed choice, isn't it? When we know better, we do better.
I don't think I help, because I normally say, I don't need anything, I'm fine. But so yeah, that's planning in advance, clearing out old toys and making space for all the new ones. That's a good tip. I mean, people are feeling stressed that there's going to be too much stuff in the house. It always happens, doesn't it? But as you say, you can not use wrapping papers and things that are going to leave you with 11 bags of recycling after Christmas.
Which is not. Wrapping paper is not recyclable for the most of it.
And there was a good tip which someone sent in about putting all the toys in a big bag, in a big sack, and then having the excitement with the children reaching in and perhaps describing what they can find in the sack. Everything
not wrapped, exactly. And they can go in the bag. And it links to a Montessori technique as well, where you allow your child blindfolded to reach into a bag, and is training for the child for touch. It's incredible feelings, and it is educational and yet environmentally friendly. 2 birds with a stone. Can't ask for more.
So some people say that especially with children, that the chaos of the day affects their children's routines. Maybe their sleep's gone out of sync, or they normally eat at a certain time. How can you help with that?
First of all, the parent is in charge. The parent is in charge and has to remain calm. So these are for you, mom and dad. If you're calm, your children will be calm because your children will feed off you. If you're stressed about thinking that you can't have their lunch ready for 11:30 in the morning, then they'll be stressed. And they'll probably be coming hungry much earlier than usual. So you have to manage your own anxieties first. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to do it in a minute. And then compromise with things. Go out a little bit earlier if you're going out in the morning for a walk. Go earlier to the place where you're supposed to go for lunch and bring a sandwich. Feed them something, something healthy that they'll eat beforehand. And if they want to sleep at 3 o'clock when grandma serves Christmas dinner, let them sleep. Don't get crossed about it. They're just there on the sofa. And I tell you what, you'll probably enjoy your Christmas dinner much more without having to look on the side trying to keep your child clean and the peas for not going everywhere. It's and I bet grandma would probably be very happy as well.
If the kids ate some peas, that would be a start, wouldn't it, I suppose? So I'm interested in these tips about how to relax then.
Yes. I need to mention a book from a friend, a colleague of mine, Bev Gisborne. It's called Manage Your Mind. It's a little collection of easy techniques to release anxieties and stress, because believe it or not, it's something we do. It's not something that happens to us. We are in control of it. It's something that happened in the past. Our brain has made a recording of it, and every time something stressful happens, our brain plays the same recording. But we are in charge. We are the programmer. So this book is incredible. I think everyone should have it. One of the techniques in there, and most therapists know about these techniques, some know more, but these are the easy ones, is the breathing. So you breathe in for a count of 5, you hold for 2, and you breathe out for a count of 7. Now you do that a couple of times, and you find the whole of your body will just drop, will relax. Your shoulders come down, they sink in, your head stands up, and the whole stress that you were experiencing a moment earlier, it's all gone. Oh, fantastic. That is the book.
Manage Your Mind, yes.
Yes, great. And so that's an easy one. So breathe in for 5, hold for 2, and breathe out for 7. Now, if you have a cold, you can breathe in through your mouth. It's not a problem. Then we have we can have many techniques. One is the tap-in, EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Many people know about it. There's 3 points. One is the karate chop, just under your hand. So you just tap like this.
Okay.
And then you tap under the eye, so on the bone of your cheeks, and then on your collarbone up here. And you do that a few times, and the number, if you tap 7 or 8 times, and then you move on to the next step. It's linked to acupressure from Chinese medicine and acupuncture, and it stops the body from producing adrenaline and releases serotonin. So by any means, go for it. Another one, you can use the stress ball. So you imagine you have a ball in your hand, and you just close your eyes and you just feel all of your stresses and physical sensations, and you filter them through. You make them go through like a river onto this ball. And when the ball is full and everything is in there, you just chuck the ball. And you see all of your stresses disappearing. It's imagery work. Another one, which is my favorite, and you can never forget this, is the middle finger. The middle finger in Chinese medicine is linked to the glands above the kidneys. Those glands produce adrenaline and cortisol. Those are the main hormones for stress. If you grab your right hand and you go over your left hand and you start massaging your finger and you focus on that finger. And this goes as well for people in a meeting. You can put it under the desk. Nobody can see you. You can still do a relaxation technique there. And you just massage your finger and you breathe through it and give it a couple of minutes. And you'll probably find that your state of being is just gone completely relaxed. Now, you can even give it a score between 1 and 10. So 1 being nothing and 10 being the worst before you start. Let's say it's an 8. You breathe through, you focus on your finger, you close your eyes, and you massage your finger, and then you breathe this out, and then wait a moment, and then score it again and see how you are. And just watch it go down.
Wow, there's 4 good tips there. The breathing technique, 5-7, the tapping technique, the stress ball technique, and the middle finger technique.
Yeah, you'll never forget that one.
Now, one of the biggest points, I suppose, that comes up with Christmas is money worries, isn't it? And that was a question that was on the Facebook page, from presents to buying food and alcohol. Any tips with that?
Yes, well, money is energy. Money, it will go where the person feels they're wealthy. So Warren Buffett, a billionaire, said, don't expect to manage money unless you can manage your emotions. And it's so true. I'm a good example. I was nearly bankrupt a few years ago, and then I went on and learned all these things and changed my life completely into a 6-digit salary. And, those were the years in corporate. But being poor, feeling poor is a state of mind. So until you change that, you won't be able to keep money. So a therapist, a lot of people say, I don't have the money for a therapist, but can you really afford not to see someone? If you want your life to change, you need someone to help you. So the back of your mind, your subconscious mind believes you're poor because you keep telling yourself you're poor. You keep telling yourself you haven't got enough money for this, you haven't got enough money for that. What happens? The mind wants to be congruent and makes it happen. So you're manifesting being poor. But what about this? Even the people on the poverty line in this country are richer than nearly 1 billion people on this planet. 1/8 of the planet population is poorer than you. And look at them. That should make you feel better immediately, because you have a roof over your head, you probably have food on your table and hot water to wash. Even if you struggle to get those, you're still wealthier than they are. So stop looking at yourself as a poor person, make the decision and change it. It's, you need to start telling yourself you are wealthy because you truly are. Same for healthy. You are healthy. And if you tell your mind, there's a moment in time during when we go to sleep and when we wake up in the morning, where our brain frequency moves between deep sleep and hypnosis state, so that REM state, into awake. That's the best time to tell yourself these things. I am wealthy, I am healthy. That will stick. That will stick, and then we'll make the changes. So try that one.
Okay. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So a quote from Warren Buffett there. You're never going to manage money until you manage your emotions. He should know, I suppose.
He's got a few bobs.
Now, just finishing up then, I suppose we should all go easy on the alcohol
Yes.
at Christmas time.
Yes, I tell you a funny one. The Romans, obviously being Italian, I know things like that. The Romans said in vino veritas, which means in wine truth. Uh-huh. And they used alcohol to get confessions of guilt with like robbers or, things like that. Because when you are tipsy, your barriers go off. Your mind can't control your mouth that well. And there's no filter. So you end up saying things that you don't really want to say. You might mean them because in the back of your mind you go, yeah, I don't like that person, but you might not want to say. So you've been warned. Stay off the alcohol.
And in all seriousness, if it does go a bit downhill and you're feeling like depressed over Christmas, give us some contacts to call.
Yes, the Samaritans. The Samaritans are there 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. The telephone number is 116-123. It's free from anywhere, even a public phone, I believe. So go on their website, is samaritans.org. And there's a lot of information there. They might give you some ideas. But if you're really struggling, don't struggle alone. Don't struggle in silence. Just pick the phone up. Everyone's got a phone nowadays. It's the one thing we can't live without. Just call the number if you're really that bad. But any friend would do,
Well, Tamara, it's been fantastic speaking to you today. I'm sure we'll have you back because on your website here, there's lots of interesting words that I've no idea what they mean. I can guess about hypnobirthing. That's all about pain relief during birth.
Yes,
surely.
And so much more. Much more.
Yes. But these ones, that's a whole future other episode, I think.
Yeah, I'll come back and tell you what I practice, especially because, as I mentioned earlier, the website is not ready yet. The developer let me down a little bit. I was hoping it was going to be ready for Christmas, but it's going to be a New Year gift. So, yeah, I can come back and tell you more about all the therapies I practice.
But contact details on your Facebook page there, which is facebook.com/Lyncroft Studio. That's your phone number, email address there. And also there's a picture of your treatment.
Yeah, that's my studio.
Studio, yes. It looks very homely.
It's a nice, relaxing. It looks like a Austrian chalet. It's very homely, definitely. It's got a good energy in it.
Oh, great. So we can contact you via the Facebook page. That's fantastic. We'll definitely have you back another time, but thanks for now for giving us some tips on how to keep cool at Christmas.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.